Even though I stopped coaching, I get thousands of letters each week of people trying to ask me for advice in their life. One of the most common themes I get is, Coach, how do I be a good lion tamer? Well, this is something you're going to need a lot of motivation. People are motivated by their needs and they're discouraged by their fears. The first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to find yourself a good lion. This is probably the most important step. You want a timid lion because there's always a chance he could turn on you and eat your ass. Second part is just some logistical stuff. Like you're going to need a big litter box, and I suggest renting a mini storage because the lions are going to eat a lot of raw meat. There's going to be a lot of poop. And also I suggest where you try to maybe feed them with zebras, or if you could get a lot of, like a discount maybe on a cat chow from Sam's Club or something. And the third thing you're going to need to do is to be committed. Here's an example. A guy goes and wants to be a monk. And the head monk says, we've got one rule here, you can only say 2 words every 10 years. So he nods and he leaves. Comes back 10 years later, he goes, food cold. Guy goes, you spoken, come back 10 years. Comes back 10 years later, he goes, bed hard. He goes, you spoken, come back in 10 years. He comes back 10 years later, he goes, I quit. Guy goes, I figured you would because you've been bitching ever since you got here. Fourth thing you're going to need to pray. You're going to need God involved in this undertaking. One of the things that I found is one of the most inspirational places on earth is the University of Notre Dame. And I suggest going to South Bend, Indiana, and asking the Lord there to pray to the statue of Jesus to make sure that it's very acceptable because it's the greatest institution in the world. There's a statue of me there. And the fifth thing you're going to need is a gun.